Welcome back to 1 Minute Monday. I hope you're all doing really well. This week you actually joined me on the bank on my new campaign water, and that is because we are looking at some new baits. Well, I think it's safe to say that we all know Nash Bait by now. Pretty obvious one, isn't it? And most of us know that Nash used to do particles as well. That stopped a couple of years ago, and then they have come back out with a new range this year, which was launched at the trade show in October last year, and is finally hitting the shelves now. Now, this is no small feat for Nash. They've bought a brand new factory, they've kitted it out with tens of thousands of pounds worth of gear just to make this specific range here. There are some new liquids coming out as well in the next month or two, which look really interesting, but for now, we've got the jars of particles. All the particles are cooked fresh, so they're pretty much as fresh as they come. Obviously they've got some preservatives in because they are in the jars, so once you open them they'll probably last you a couple of 3 days unless you refreeze them again. When they're sealed in the jars they have a very long shelf life indeed, making them ideal to just store in the van, keep in case you need some, or if you don't open it, you take it on a session, obviously you can keep it and use it on another one. And looking at the quality from outside the jar, they look really good. Now, a good test, for example, with hemp is when you check out the seed open rate on the jar that you see on the shelf in the shop, for instance. If there's not many seeds open in the jar, it's normally poor quality hemp, or it hasn't been cooked very well. On the hemp in particular here with the Nash Bait, it's got a really high open rate, which tells me it's really high quality, it's been cooked really well as well. On to what you get in the range. There are some pretty standard ones here and some extra ones as well. You get an oily hemp, you get a Scopex squid hemp, which is actually Atlantic squid inside the hemp. You get sweet talin tiger nuts, you get a tiger nut slush with talin as well. You get a small seed mix and a large seed mix. Now, in both the small seed mix and the large seed mix, they've got Himalayan rock salt in the mix of them already as well. So loads of extra attractants in all of the products here to help you get those fish on the bank. They either come in a 2.5 litre big jar like you see here, or the smaller 500 milliliter jar that you see down below. Interestingly, added into the range, they've got Himalayan rock salt now as well. That's in a 2.5 litre and a 500 ml jar as well. Now, currently the one that's released is the 500 ml jar, and there's two differences with them. In the 500 ml jar, it's a really fine ground down Himalayan rock salt, and in the bigger 2.5 litre, it's coarse Himalayan rock salt. If you haven't used salt before, it is a massive edge. For those of you that do use salt, you know how good it can be, especially now this time of year, pre-spawn and post-spawn as well. Salt can be a huge edge in fishing. Price wise, they sit right in the marketplace for prepared particles as well that you can get off the shelf. $11.99 for the bigger jars and $3.99 for the smaller jars. Now, you're joining me on the bank for this one because I'm actually going to be using some on the session that I'm in now. I'm using the Himalayan rock salt and the large tigers currently. On this water there's loads of bream and tench, so for me personally that wipes out both the seed mixes and the hemp as well, and to an extent the tiger nut slush. So I'm just going out with whole tigers, boilies, and then the rock salt. So what I've basically done for this session in this water box 200 here, which is how I carry my boilies around with me, I've got about 4 kilos of 15mm and 20mm Scopex squid and some 15mm hot tuna as well. Put some of the syrup on there and then put an entire jar of the fine rock salt in there with it as well. Did that all yesterday before I came to the bank to let it soak in a little bit. So that's in there ready to go. Then I've got a jar of the whole tigers, which I'm going to use in conjunction with the boilies, and I'm basically going to be bait boating my rigs out to some spots. There are over 100 jars currently where I'm fishing, so I'm going to be bait boating my rigs out there with the boilies, with the tiger nuts, and then on one rig, for instance, this one just here, standard sort of Ronnie rig with 2 tiger nuts on the hair with some cork in between, so I'll bore them out with the drill. Put some cork in between so it's popped up tiger nuts. I'll be fishing that over the spot with the tigers and the boilies, and then I've got boilies on another rod as well, and then one on the bottom just to mix it up and see what happens. So that's what I'm going to be fishing on this session. So we're going to load up the bait boat, get a rig out there. I can't actually show you the water, which is why we're fishing this way, but I can guarantee you if I catch a fish I can definitely show you that. So we're going to load the bait boat up, get the rigs out there and see what happens. Now, if I'm not fortunate enough to catch a fish on this session, you can't make them take the bait after all. Obviously these are all in stock now at HF, on the website and in store as well. You can come in and see them, ask the staff about them. Definitely keep some of these in your car for this spring and summer. Particles can be a fantastic bait at this time of year and can definitely put some more fish on the bank. So if this video ends shortly after this and there's no more footage to come, it means I haven't caught one. And if that's the case, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Well, I'm not sure what this image is like. It's just going dark, so I'm about to get the lights out. About 9 o'clock, something like that. And tiger nuts have ripped off with this lovely fine specimen. Old dog, this one. It's just absolutely soaked me as well. Is he gonna let me pick him up? Here we go. 17 pounds. Mega fish. Well happy with that. Over the tiger nuts with the tiger nut hook bait. Ripped off, nearly rocked the rod off the buzz bars. Well happy. Took me out into open water as well for a change. Got a bit of a lump on its side, so we should call this one lumpy. But yeah, mega fish. Very happy indeed. Oh, what a relief. But yeah, another mega old fish from this magical place. Gonna get this one back. It's getting dark. Try another one. Mwah. Thank you.